Hi, everyone. I'm Curtis Wallis, and thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. If you came over and you've seen some of my podcast episodes, thank you very much. If you have not, please take a minute, check out the I Do Insiders, a podcast for helping wedding professionals grow your wedding business. But today you're on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, I'm going to focus a lot more on some product reviews, software reviews, different things that help you as a photographer. There might be a few other bonus episodes in there, but I think right now we're going to see a lot of photography, behind the scenes, software, just some fun stuff. So today, are you someone who's looking for AI to help you speed your workflow and get images back to couples faster? Then today, this is what you need to watch. We are going to look over a great tool that I've been using for about 2 years called Aftershoot. Aftershoot does culling. It does editing, guys. I don't use it for editing. It's because I already have a profile established on another platform. Aftershoot, I do culling. I love the way it culls. I love the groupings it does because I've got it dialed down very specifically. One of my favorite things on Aftershoot is the blur detection. We're all not perfect, guys. There's images that get a little blurry. Aftershoot actually put those out, puts them in a group, and then helps you pick them. So what I want to show you is today a way that you can use Aftershoot to speed up your workflow, get images back to your couples faster, and also save a little time for yourself. Work on a little bit more of that editing process and not sitting there picking images. So stay tuned, watch, and hopefully you'll learn something. If you've got some other tips, maybe you do something different, put it in the comments below. Like I said, this is one way of doing and using Aftershoot. Doesn't mean it's the right way. It's just the way that I do it. So I'd love to hear how you guys are using Aftershoot. So here we go. Hi, everyone. Over here on my what I call my retouching computer, or my processing computer. Like I said, I'm on a Windows machine, and I have installed and I'm working with Aftershoot. It's a great program that I've used for a year and a half, 2 years on culling. So I've got several seasons through it with weddings. Um, Basically, I know that some of these programs have editing features and things built in. I've got a couple of niches that I just like right now as it's developing more and more. This is where I know I'm comfortable and I've built my profiles and it's learned. So Aftershoot has a process where it learns what you like, and so it saves it. I think it's great. Um, First things, let's get right into it. I am going to open, I already have a one engagement session done. I just want to show you guys. I'm going to show you the settings for what I do with culling on this one. So I'm working with my raw images off my Canon camera. If I start culling, this comes up. There's a first screen that will come up that says, what do you want, automated like this, or do you want to customize? Okay. I always customize. Let me tell you what it does and why I do it, guys. I customize it because Aftershoot is going to put stuff into groups for you. Okay. The idea is if you go through the groups, if you know what you're looking for and your goal is to do one thing in there, and that's, do I like the group or do I not like the group? Do I like the photo that's in that group? Is it supposed to be? And you just select it. You'll get through things a lot faster. So I use Lightroom. I actually have all these images already in Lightroom first is what I do. So I like to have them all in there. And then I use Aftershoot to basically adjust the metadata. And then I tell Lightroom to grab it again. You can export from one. You can do it. Now they got even fancy. You put it in a folder. You let Aftershoot have it. I like to get all my images in Lightroom. Just a preference. I could do it either way. I have done it both ways, guys. It's just the workflow that I have. So when I come here, what my goal is Aftershoot assigns colored labels and stars. Okay, for me, 5-star means it's a good one. Green means it's a good one right now. That will change. I want to keep it nice and simple so I can edit it fast. I don't do the highlight photos. I actually use this blue color later. But really, I'm not trying to get highlights at this point. When I go through again, I will hand pick those. Right now, I'm just trying to get all the images through as quick as I can so I can get them to the client. Okay, so I then put on duplicate photos. Now, there's a slider here. You'll notice that there are large groups, that have like one image picked out of it, or down here, smaller groups that might have a couple images picked out. I like the small groups. I've tested every which way in between. Here's my reason for this, guys. It actually will, smaller groups will keep the images that look almost identical together a lot better. Larger groups, it starts having sort of a little leeway. Oh, they might be smiling in there. They might be turned. They might be whatever. I found I had to go through them way more if these groups were too big, and I was missing some that I really liked. This just narrowed it down a little bit for me. It gave me a lot more green 5-star choices. Okay, blurry photo detection and closed eyes. This is the number one feature why I love Aftershoot. It goes through and double checks if there's any blurry closed eyes. Done, gone. You don't want them. Don't want to even want them in there. You can change your stars, colors, anything like that. I have them separated here a little bit. I believe these are the defaults, by the way. Red is just gone, and it makes one of them a 1 and one's a 2, so they don't end up in the same group. We want to be able to sift through them. So we'd start culling, and then come back, and I'm going to switch over to one that's already done. Speed things up. Watch this. Okay. Just to let you know, this one is about 758 photos, I believe is what it is. So we're going to go to my cull that I already did. And you can see it culled it in 28 minutes, 52 seconds, and it was, all of them were 758 photos. So remember the groups. Now we're going to go through and we're going to do one thing in those groups. I'm going to look at them on this level. So I'm not zooming into one individual one. It already did this. This is just it's called a high level look, guys. We're just going to go through it as quick as we can. Okay. But we want them in there in case we want them. So what I do, I start off with blurred photos. Okay. What I know I'm looking for is, did it pick the right subject? You know, sometimes there's a person in the background and it goes, oh, there's a blurry person. Well, they're in the background. Of course, I want them blurry, or the subject matter, or sometimes you get an animal in here and they're blurry. You just need to check it. But the way to go through it fast is this tool right here, spray can mode. What it lets us do is it assigns a action to our left click or right click. So since these are red and I don't need them anymore, I'm going to have to add them if I like them. So my left click is going to change this image to 5 stars green. Okay, it means a good one. My right click is going to be 1 star red. I don't want it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my arrow key and go up and down. Now keep in mind, as you hover, you can see over here if it gets a face shot that lets you kind of go like, oh, is that in focus? Is it not in focus? And get a real quick look. So I'm using my arrow and I'm using the 2 pictures down below, not the top ones. There's a nice one with the dog. And I'm just going through it. Okay, sometimes it finds key faces, sometimes if it's blurry, anything like that. And I'm just going to go through it real quick here, guys. And I'm looking at ones going, oh, why is that blurry? Do I want it? Okay, some of these are blurry, but I still don't want it. Okay. But I want to know what I'm looking for in here. Blurred. Actually, some of these, like I know this is sharp. I put it down to 1 because it was a green one and I already took it down. So some of it, when you go through the first time, your images won't be intermixed if you do it in this order. Okay. So the first time it's going to put all the blurred ones here. So you're only looking through for blurry, not looking for closed eyes, anything like that. It's just going to go blurry. I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to add this one. And yep. Oh, I changed my mind. I don't like that one. I'm going to right click it. But all I'm trying to do is my thumb, left click, going through, click left, click left. Back here, I'm going to undo that one so it doesn't get in my mix. And I'm flying through it, guys. I'll take 98 images. I'll probably run through in like 3 minutes, honest. Next thing I do is closed eyes. We do the exact same thing. It says these eyes are closed. All we want to know is if they're not closed. Here's one good example. Eyes are closed. Sharp. Yeah, I don't want it. If I did, I'd left click it and make it green. It'd go into my final green. Right click it. Goes away. Okay, so I'll go through all of those. Don't forget, guys, to hit save in between because it has to save this label information as metadata onto the image so Lightroom picks it up. Okay, it's not doing anything to the actual file. It's just the metadata that goes with it. Once I do that, then I'm going to go up here to duplicates. Now, here's where it's a little different, guys. You can also exit spray can up here to get some filters. Um, I'm going to go to selection so you can kind of see it. Here's one right here. See how it's got a +1? I'm going to click on it. It's telling me that there is other groups. I'm going to close this. See, it says it's grouped these. These are those duplicates. Now it happened to group it with a red one, which we know is a red one, blurry or closed eyes. We confirmed it. It's done. It's telling us there's a warning here too, that it says probably one of these ones in the groups may be a closed eye, and it put it in there anyways. It's probably telling me closed eyes because they're not looking at the camera, honestly. So it just tells me to kind of double check it. But what I like to do, especially with a wedding, is I will go through and maybe even if I have to click duplicates here, and it's going to show me the duplicates with some of the red ones, but I use these filters up here and say, I just want the yellow ones. Okay. So then now I want to include these again. I'm going to go spray can, confirm my left click is my green one. Yep. Remember, I'm doing this in order. So left click is adding it. And I'm going to go through here. There are images. If I want, and I said, I like this pose, and see how I hover over here, guys, I'm down here in the bottom right. It's telling me there's one that's close to it. You can see those two, they're similar, but they're not. Okay. So it picked based on what I've done before and picked the green one and picked one. If I still like that one, I'm going to add it in there and it's going to add it in the group. Big group photos with lots of people, I include them all the time. I just go through here and mass select them all and say green, 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 because I want the couple to be able to pick some of those family photos and me not to go like, oh man, Uncle Bob has his eyes open and Aunt Betty's got him closed on there. I'll let them make the decision, as well as sometimes when it's just candid, that it's just kind of fun photos. I'm like, oh, include it, as long as it's not blurry. I don't include it if it's blurry. But we've already gone through that. So I'm just going to fly through these duplicates and say, is there one I'm in here? Hover over it. Do I have another one that should be close? Good. Do I like this expression? Yeah, I do. I'm going to left click it. Is the group. You can see the group on it here, what it does sometimes. Look at the size of the group. It gave me 3 greens and 2 yellow, where before the larger groups, I'd have 3 yellow and 1 green. So I think the groups work a little better. Plus, I've already gone through here a little bit. You say, here's the groups, red's bad. I don't have to change anything here, guys. It's not going to be in my group. This little palette right here is just showing me what gets grouped together. So I'll fly through it. You can see there's an eyes closed one. It didn't catch it. Okay, but I know it's already yellow, so it's not in my group. And I've got a green one right there that will pick. There are ways in these little palettes going switch. I don't like that. Switch. I don't like that. I don't bother with it. I go through these masses and I just kind of go through them faster. So that way I'm not going through one at a time again. I think that's where people get held up as they go through it and then go, oh man, I'm still going through it one at a time. I'm going through it way faster. Okay. Then I'm going to save everything. Once I'm saved, I'm going to go back here to my quick filter and I'm going to go to green. Now everything green in here should be good. Okay, so I'm going to exit spray can so you can just see. Now we need to reverse our colors. This is just the way that I do it. I now want the left button for me to be red. I want it gone. And the right button to be, oops, I made a mistake and it's green. For me, I can just click my thumb faster. So I do that and I've already gone through all the bad, bad to good, and now I'm going good to bad. So it's the same thing. These should all be good, guys. Okay, now the difference being is they said they should be, but they're not. You will see some in here that quite possibly it's just kept it because it's a one of a kind, or it doesn't know that somebody's sticking their tongue out and you don't like it, or you don't like the expression. So I'm going one at a time through here. Actually, I'm not even one at a time, guys. I'm doing 2 at a time. Okay, this is where your speed is. And I'm looking through here going, is there any of them I don't want? Weddings, this is great. Real quick, there's some poses in those receptions. You're like a little questionable going, oh, I don't want that in there. Aftershoot puts it in there. So we go through here and say, nope, don't want that. Don't want that. I don't need, that many angles of the cake. I picked the last one first. Some people go through them backwards too, guys. That's another little tidbit for you. Called backwards because you usually end with the best photo in a group. You stop and go, yep, that's it. So I'm going right through here, and then I might see one, oh, I don't like the dog where it is, and I'm going to left click it. You notice it took it out of my group. Okay, there's one, like that one. And then you can also go, if there's too many, I'm going to left click that one. I can't see any faces, and done. And I'm going right through here. Okay, once I'm done, I know I'm good. Everything's green now. Save changes, exit out of Aftershoot, and go to Lightroom. There is a way of, from there, guys, if it's not in Lightroom, when you save change, you can hit export, and you can export the group, export all of them. I just happen to, when I import them into Lightroom, they're here. I use Photo Mechanic on my larger weddings. First, engagement sessions, I just have a big master engagement session uh, file for the year, and everyone's in different groups. So everything is over here. It normally doesn't have colors on it. It does not have stars. You have to bring that in. You select them all. When you do it, and I was hoping I would have one in here that I could see. There's a little arrow that, oh, there's one right there. See that little arrow? If I click this, it says your metadata for one or more of these photos has been changed by another program. Yep, Aftershoot changed it. I want to import from the disk. I'm not overwriting them. I'm importing from the disk. So what it's going to do, I'm not going to do it because we were kind of messing around with it, is everything I did in Aftershoot, it's going to come and change all these. It's just changing the metadata, guys. It's not doing any editing, anything. What we are trying to do in here is get a group of 5 stars. Like if I unfilter this, guys, and I do everything here and don't filter by colors, you will see. Okay, there we go. You've got all 758 photos, and they are all the colors, everything we did in Aftershoot. You'll see some extra colors, and let me show you what that's for. I'm going to say 5 stars because those should be good ones, and I'm going to say green. Green at first is what they come over, but I'm not sorting by color yet. They are all green when they come over. Now this is where I think really the speed also comes in. When I do editing, okay, either Lightroom presets or another AI program, I'll show you that later. What I do is I want to put them in groups to speed them up. So I take green as color. I then still 5 stars good. Purple is black and white. And remember, I didn't use the highlight blue over an Aftershoot because, let me give you some good ones here. Purple, those are going to be black and white. There we go, blue. These blue, I typically, as I get closer on a couple's face, or it's just like shots of the bride, I like to run a retouching program at the same time. So it's built into my editor and the AI editing system. So I have a separate profile. So I actually have 2 profiles, one color, one black and white, a third one that I add in, you can add in cropping, and I add in skin retouching so that it just gives a really light retouch, a little smooth to this. So they're blue. That's it, guys. Everything. So I have my colors. I will then start the editing process. I use a different program. So if you'd like to see that, subscribe below, follow along. If you got questions, you can do the comment section, but this is a little quick tutorial on how I cull and Aftershoot. Thank you.